two Raleigh shootings. Police are investigating two separate shootings this morning. What we're learning about the victims in each case.
Highs nearing 100 degrees today, and it's only going to feel hotter soon. When we could see heat advisories and timing out our next rain chance.
Pedestrian struck. A person is hit by a car on I-40 near Carytown Boulevard. What we're learning this morning from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. We're following all those stories and more, as well as your morning commute. WRAL News at 8 starts in about 30 seconds.
Now be careful with Hardee's new hot honey. You'll get lost in that made-from-scratch hot honey chicken biscuit. Right now, get the hot honey chicken biscuit or any chicken biscuit for just $3.99. Only at Hardee's.
What's up, Bubba?
Hey, Brad.
Did we win something?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Partner with some chicken.
Yeah.
Right now on the app, My Rewards members get the Bubba Wallace Full Throttle Tenders Meal with a collectible Hardee's card.
Your number one source for local news. This is WRAL, coverage you can count on.
Good Thursday morning, and thanks for joining us here on Fox 50 at 8 o'clock. I'm Kirsten Clark.
And I'm Ken Smith. We've got lots to share with everybody.
We do.
Not the least of which is about that heat that's coming with us. Let's get to meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
Already going to be hot today, and then with the high pressure building over the area, feeling even hotter into our Friday and Saturday. And with more moisture in place, heat index values will climb well over 105 degrees for some spots by Friday, so we'll likely have some heat advisories. We'll talk more about why we'll see that coming up soon. Here's a view from Southern Pines this morning, though. Just some high cloud cover otherwise. A little bit of a haze in the sky from some of that smoke from the Canadian wildfires. Not too many folks out there early this morning, but temperatures are starting more comfortable in the 70s to start our day. By this afternoon, highs reach to around 100 in some spots. Mid to upper 90s for others. Heat index values just over 100 degrees, so just below heat advisory criteria, but it'll feel like much hotter tomorrow and into Saturday. We'll talk more about the heat, plus when better rain chances arrive, coming up in just a bit. Ken?
Hey, Grant, checking the morning commute here in the 8 o'clock hour. Let's start with this live look at I-87 at Smithfield Road. You can see, boy, the congestion that's really building there in that area of I-87. So let's widen out the view of I-87. Going all the way back to Wendell Falls Parkway, you can see you're just looking at a 4-minute delay between Wendell Falls Parkway and the Beltline. So really nothing that's going to make you late once you get past that Smithfield Road exit. It's clear sailing. And speaking of the Beltline, here's a live look at I-40 Lake Wheeler Road, the southern loop of the Beltline. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. Even though it looks a little jammed up, right now, really and truly, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay because once you get past the Gorman Street exit, it's really clear sailing all the way over to Cary. That northern loop of the Beltline is a little bit more congested. You're looking at a 7-minute delay because we're picking up congestion around Glenwood Avenue, around Six Forks Road, as well as Capitol Boulevard. So as you plot out your morning commute this morning and the Beltline is part of your morning commute, these are the things that you should keep in mind. If you're getting ready to head into the car, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. We're following breaking news in Raleigh this morning. Police are investigating a shooting on Cragburn Lane in the Hedingham neighborhood. Kelsey Coffey is live in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker this morning. And Kelsey, police have not made any arrests in this shooting yet.
Yes, Kirsten, and that scene cleared within the last 20 minutes. We'll go ahead and take you straight to video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker so you can take a look at the scene just after shots rang out. Officers say one woman was hurt, but she is expected to live. Officers appear to focus their investigation on the car that you should be able to see on your screen. Neighbors describe some of the terrifying moments that happened just after that shooting. You'll hear more about that coming up in the next half hour. Right now, we're asking Raleigh police several questions, including what led up to this shooting, as well as we're working to get an update on the search for that shooter. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Police are also in North Raleigh investigating a shooting that happened there earlier this morning. Ali Catalabar is there with a WRAL Breaking News Tracker on Magnolia Court. And Ali, that scene behind you is still active.
Yeah, this investigation still unfolding. Police are still searching for a suspect. We can see tape is still set up in front of these apartment buildings behind me. You can see police are still here investigating. Now, I do want to show you this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. It shows forensics taking pictures of a bullet hole in the building. Now, Raleigh police say a man was shot around 4:15 this morning. He was taken to the hospital, expected to be okay. Police are still searching for a suspect, and we are just working to find out exactly what led up to this shooting, the identity of the people involved, as well as the injuries that person is facing. Of course, we're going to keep you updated. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadbar, WRAL News.
2 lanes of I-40 West in Cary are back open after a crash involving a pedestrian earlier this morning. Raleigh police say a person was hit by a car. This happened between Carytown Boulevard and Buck Jones Road. Raleigh Wake 911 is reporting the crash as fatal, and we're working to confirm that information with Raleigh police.
And Kirsten, we're also trying to learn more about the person responsible for a high-speed chase that spanned 2 counties. Video shows where the chase ended near Old Cotton Gin Road in Sampson County. The State Highway Patrol reports the chase started around 10:30 last night near NC 242 in Johnston County, with speeds of more than 100 miles per hour. Troopers say the driver ran into the woods after the chase ended. Troopers are still looking for that driver. Firefighters in Cary, meantime, responding to an early morning house fire. Flames broke out at home on Holland Bend Drive near Morrisville Road. The WRAL breaking news tracker arrived on that scene around 4 o'clock this morning. A garage and a car inside were badly damaged. The Cary Fire Chief says everyone was able to get out of the home safely. No one was hurt.
Well, Raleigh Restaurant Week gets started today, and ahead of it, restaurants are addressing concerns about the cyclospora outbreak. Right now, more than 216 cases have been confirmed in Wake County. 5 people have been hospitalized. Restaurants are taking added precautions to make sure their customers stay safe. And we spoke with the culinary director from Empire Eats, which operates several restaurants in downtown Raleigh. He said they haven't made any changes to menus yet, but they are confident in their ingredients.
We buy all of our supplies from certified purveyors, so we have good confidence and a great relationship with them. We talk to them about, is there any sort of other awareness or any other steps we need to take so we know what to do.
He said if the Wake County Health Department or the FDA issues a specific advisory about a specific food source, they're ready to change their menus. Raleigh Restaurant Week runs through July 26th.
Well, this morning we'll get new information about the drought situation in North Carolina. The weekly drought monitor will be released around 8:30 this morning. Now, based on the last drought report, 50% of the state, as you see from this map, in an extreme drought condition, and 6% of the state in an exceptional drought situation. Well, summertime thunderstorms added a foot of water to Falls Lake between July 6th and the 13th, but it's still 10 feet lower than it was at this same time last year. Falls Lake officials are asking swimmers and boaters to be aware of each other.
Swimmers have been out into the lake more, farther out maybe than they usually are, and that's caused some maybe interactions between swimmers and boaters that aren't normally there.
Of course, swimmers are advised to stay in designated areas. WRAL meteorologists have said it still will take a lot more rain, likely a tropical system, to end this drought. The new drought monitor, again, will be released around 8:30 this morning.
President Trump says he plans to focus on elections in a speech tonight. Sources close to the president say it will be about voting machine security and alleged foreign efforts to influence elections. When he first announced the speech Monday, many assumed it would focus on the war in Iran. However, election integrity has been one of President Trump's core talking points since he lost the 2020 election. Midterm elections are less than 4 months away.
Oh, Todd Blanche faced some tough questions on Capitol Hill yesterday as the president's nominee for Attorney General. He's already doing the job since Pam Bondi was dismissed. Blanche was Deputy Attorney General. Todd Blanche previously served as the president's criminal defense attorney in his 2024 hush money trial in New York involving Stormy Daniels. Democrats are concerned as AG Blanche would go after political rivals on the president's behalf.
This morning, state election officials will debate new rules that could make it easier to throw out people's ballots. The Republican majority on the State Board of Elections backs these changes. In addition to making it easier for election officials to throw out mail-in ballots, the changes would also reject people's excuses for not having voter ID. Kicking people from polling places would also be made simpler. And as WRAL state government reporter Will Doran reports, critics are worried this could inject partisanship into elections administration.
Elections Director Sam Hayes, who took over last year, has said that he wants to focus on improving confidence in elections and election integrity around North Carolina. Critics, however, say that these new rules will do the exact opposite and make decisions over things like which ballots to count or throw out be more susceptible to political meddling.
Yeah, Will and our entire NC Capitol team has been tracking the new proposals and the public's reaction. Find our coverage at WRAL.com and tune in later today for updates from that meeting. All right, your time now is 8:10, a settlement shortchange. The NC Attorney General is not happy about the settlement between Chemours and the EPA. Why Jeff Jackson says a judge should reject it.
Also, hiring breakdown. Police officers facing criminal charges are resigning only to get hired in a different city or town. WRAL Investigates looks at how these officers are back on the job somewhere else.
And checking out our dew points, a measure of moisture in our atmosphere. We're in the 60s and 70s for dew points this morning. You'll see higher moisture levels into tomorrow, though, ahead of our next front, and that will make it feel even hotter the next couple of days. I'll let you know how hot it will feel into both Friday and Saturday on weather alert days. That's coming up. Coming up on 8:14 on this Thursday morning, quiet at the coastline today, and temperatures aren't too hot right now, just warm out there. Some folks already outside enjoying the coast this morning. Rip current risk, thankfully, is lower today for our southern beaches, a moderate risk up towards Ocracoke Island Beach and the northern Outer Banks beaches. So just make sure to watch for your local beach flags. You could see some changes over the next couple of days, but for now, a lower risk for rip currents. Remember, though, even with a low risk for rip currents can still happen. Temperatures still in the mid to upper 80s and low 90s this afternoon, a bit hotter for a few other spots. We're even hotter, though, into Friday, and then we'll see some better chances for rain at the end of the coming weekend. We'll talk more about those rain chances, plus how hot it will feel the next few days coming up. Ken?
Grant, checking the morning commute right now, especially that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. The westbound lanes are moving away from us this morning, and this is the usual congestion we see this time of the morning. So right now, as jammed up as that looks, you're looking at maybe a 5 to 7 minute delay. As it comes up right now, you can see it's a 6-minute delay. So I was right in the ballpark. That northern loop of the Beltline, we're also seeing a similar heavy congestion as well. You're looking at an 8-minute congestion because between Capitol Boulevard and the 87-440 interchange, that's where you're seeing the bulk of the slowdown.
Ken, thank you. There's new developments in the death of Nolan Wells, who was left on Horn Island off the Mississippi coast. New audio sheds light on the moments before Wells was left behind. Take a listen.
We're sinking. Can you all please come?
Is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
A mom of one of the friends says the group left without Wells when their boat began malfunctioning. The group went to the island on July 4th. Wells's body was found just 2 days later, and his funeral is set for next Monday. The case will be presented to a Mississippi grand jury once the investigation is complete. North Carolina's Attorney General wants a federal judge to reject the government's settlement with Chemours over PFAS, or forever chemicals. Yesterday, the state filed formal comments opposing the proposed deal. The federal government says the settlement is worth at least $450 million. But North Carolina says only a fraction of that would directly benefit the state, where chemical pollution from Chemours' Fayetteville Works plant contaminated drinking water for decades.
The EPA sold us out completely. We have this huge issue. All of this water was polluted. It's drinking water for almost 500,000 people in our state. The EPA could have gone to bat for North Carolina, and they failed. But a judge has to sign off on whether or not to accept the EPA's deal.
Jackson says he'll continue pursuing a separate case against Chemours to make the company clean up groundwater contamination and pay for the damage instead of leaving these costs to taxpayers and utility customers.
At RD International, TSA airport checkpoints could become easier for families as we look live at Terminal 2 there at RD International. A bipartisan bill is currently making its way through Congress. Now, that bill will lead to expanding a TSA program designed to make airport checkpoints easier for families. The U.S. House already passed a bill. Now, if it becomes law, this would allow TSA to add dedicated screening lines for adults traveling with children 12 and under. The goal is to make the security process easier for families without lowering safety standards. TSA already offers family lanes at 13 airports, including Charlotte Douglas International Airport here in North Carolina. The proposed legislation would allow the agency to expand that program to more airports with high volumes of family travelers.
It'll allow us to go through hopefully a little faster, but I feel like everybody kind of travels with their kids these days, so I don't know how much faster it would be. But at least it'll be faster for those that don't have kids and might not want to stand behind a kid that's antsy.
All right, a bill would now head to the U.S. Senate. If it becomes law, TSA would decide which airports to expand the program to, including possibly RD International.
Carowinds has shut down its popular Fury 325 roller coaster again. This comes after inspectors found a foundation issue during routine maintenance. Park officials say guest safety was never compromised and they're repairing the ride. The coaster was closed for over a month back in 2023 for a cracked support beam. No reopening date has been announced.
Officers facing criminal charges are resigning only to get hired elsewhere. WRAL investigates Megan Cloudy has a preview of her investigation into the hiring process airing tonight on WRAL News at 6.
A number of former officers are facing charges for breaking the law. They took an oath to protect and serve, and they worked their way from a larger city or county department down to a smaller one. Most of them resigned from the larger department while under investigation, and that's allowed for officers in North Carolina. The reason for an investigation is not public record. However, the small department that eventually hired them could find that information out. Sources tell WRAL the reason small departments end up with the bad apples of law enforcement comes down to three things. One being a lack of training in background checks. Jeff Welty, UNC public law professor and a member of the Criminal Justice Education and Training Standards Commission, stresses the information may be available, but departments may not know whether an officer's previous investigation should be made available to the hiring department.
And that's one of the areas of slippage where everybody's trying to comply with the law, but what one agency wants or thinks it might be getting may not always be exactly what the other agency thinks it's required to produce.
Coming up tonight at 6:15, we'll share the other 2 points that law enforcement sources say create this issue. You'll hear more on the backstories of those officers and hear from the Nash County Sheriff on how he says lawmakers can fix this problematic pattern. That's tonight at 6:15. Megan Cloherty, WRAL Investigates.
All right, it's time for our World Cup score of the day. Argentina going to the final after 2-1 come from behind win over England. Argentina is looking to become the first team in more than 60 years to win back-to-back World Cups. They'll play Spain for the championship. That game will be Sunday at 3 p.m. Before that, France and England will play for third place at 5 p.m. on Saturday. You can watch all the action right here on Fox 50.
All right, Ken, I'm in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with meteorologist Grant Skinner. And Grant, I want to cut to the chase. This is the second photo that I've seen with the sun looking like this, and it's still just as cool as the first time I saw it.
It's very cool. So we have a little bit of hazy sky from the Canadian wildfire smoke kind of moving in, making kind of a reddish tint on the sun this morning. This is from Oxford. Jemiah sent this in. So very cool sight. And of course, we're watching for maybe more of those views into tomorrow as well as more smoke moves in from those Canadian wildfires. It's all driven by the upper level pattern, slowly allowing for this wildfire smoke to move south and east closer to North Carolina over the next 24 hours. You can see the majority of the heavier smoke will be over portions of Ohio into the Great Lakes region. They've already had some pretty incredible looking views there with some very dark, kind of brownish, orangish tints there from the haze. We won't see that intense of a haze from this wildfire smoke, but you'll see some milky skies next couple of days. You probably already saw a little bit of that yesterday as well. Our WRAL Garner Tower camera, you can see some more of that milky sky this morning. Temperatures also starting mild to start today, but this afternoon 100 in Raleigh for the high, 100 in Fayetteville, 97 Rocky Mountain, 98 in Roxborough. heat index values reaching just over 100 degrees, so just below heat advisory criteria. But Friday and Saturday, we'll likely see some very intense heat index values well over 100 degrees. We have weather alert days both Friday and Saturday. Finally, by Sunday and Monday, temperatures will cool off a bit, but heat index values could still be borderline on Sunday before we're a little bit more comfortable by the start of next week on Monday. Our next weather maker is a cold front. Ahead of it, the moisture increases, better chances for showers and storms Sunday into Monday of next week. Temperatures in the low to mid 90s for the first half of next week, so closer to average. The more intense heat, though, will be over the next few days. Ken?
All right, Grant, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Let's take a spin around the Beltline because we're seeing some heavy congestion in both directions. Here's the I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. You can see the bumper-to-bumper traffic there in those westbound lanes moving away from us. So right now you're looking at a 4-minute delay because once you get past Gorman Street, it's really clear sailing all the way over to Cary. Now, in that northern loop of the Beltline, we've got first responders working a crash on I-440 eastbound at the Wake Forest Road exit. We're going to check on that and let you know how much of a delay you're seeing. But in terms of those westbound lanes, right now you're looking at an 8-minute delay because you're looking at the bulk of the congestion between Capitol Boulevard and the I-87 440 interchange. If you're getting ready to head into the car, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Coming up, staying fit at home. 5 on Your Side is putting equipment to the test to help you build the perfect at-home workout space. And if you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video and pictures of the weather where you are, report it to us at WRAL.com/reportit.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. It is 8:26. I'm Kirsten Clark. We are talking temperatures in the triple digits today. Let's get over to meteorologist Grant Skinner to tell us just how hot it's going to be, Grant.
Yeah, we'll start in the 70s this morning, but then we'll reach to around 100 degrees this afternoon. It's 73 in Roxborough, 76 in Raleigh, 78 in Fayetteville. Lots of sunshine today, then highs will reach to around 100. Then heat index values will be just over 100 degrees for a few hours today. Otherwise, over 90 degrees for the heat index, 10 a.m. all the way through 8 p.m. So feeling hot all the way through the day, even hotter for our Friday and Saturday. And we finally see cooler temperatures with better rain chances to close out the weekend. Ken?
All right, Grant, we're still picking up some heavy congestion on I-87 coming in out of Knightdale because we're looking live at I-87 at Smithfield Road. These are the southbound lanes moving away from us this morning. So let's widen out the view of I-87 going all the way back to Wendell Falls Parkway. You see the yellow there around the Smithfield Road exit. We're also seeing some yellows just before you get to the Beltline. So between Wendell Falls Parkway and the Beltline, you're looking at a 3-minute delay. Coming up, I'll look at some other routes and let you know if I'm picking up any delays at the bottom of the hour.
Raleigh police say a man was shot at an apartment complex in Raleigh. The shooting happened around 4:30 this morning. The WRAL breaking news tracker captured that scene on Magnolia Court. Police say the man who was shot is expected to recover, and there's no word yet on a suspect. I-40 West is back open after lanes were closed for hours. Raleigh police were investigating after a person was hit by a car. We know the collision happened around 2:30 this morning, and we've reached out to police about that person's condition. Next up on Fox 50, the effort to prevent cyclospora infections as Raleigh Restaurant Week gets underway. That and more coming up.
2 Raleigh shootings. Police are investigating 2 separate shootings this morning. What we're learning about the victims in each case.
Highs nearing 100 degrees today, and it's only going to feel hotter soon when we get some heat advisories and timing out our next rain chance.
Pedestrian struck. A person is hit by a car on I-40 near Carytown Boulevard. What we're learning this morning from the WRAL breaking news tracker. So much to get to here in the 8:30 half hour. We always appreciate your time here on Fox 50. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Kirsten Clark. As you mentioned, Ken, a lot of breaking news this morning, but also it's going to be another hot day. We're talking temperatures reaching the triple digits. Oh, I'm not ready for it. But let's get over to meteorologist Grant Skinner, who is ready for it. Grant, you've been tracking the heat all morning long.
That's right. Highs pushing to around 100 degrees for some spots this afternoon. I think more spots will see more of that intense heat into Friday and Saturday as our next weather maker moves over the area. This morning from Zebulon, lots of blue sky, but also a bit of a haze with some Canadian wildfire smoke still working its way in. So don't be surprised if you have that kind of milky sky throughout the day today. Temperatures starting mild this morning in the 70s, but it will get hot this afternoon. 76 right now in Raleigh, 80 in Southern Pines already, 74 in Rocky Mount. It's 73 in Roxborough. Look at these afternoon temperatures into the 90s, 100 degrees by 4 o'clock. We'll have some scattered cloud cover. Otherwise, again, a bit of a milky sky and then feeling even hotter both tomorrow and Saturday. We'll talk more about that intense heat on a couple of weather alert days, plus when we'll see rain chances return. That's coming up. Ken?
Great happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Boy, look at this. Congestion beginning to thin out just a little bit on parts of I-87 as we look live at I-87 Smithfield Road. These are the southbound lanes moving away from us this morning. As we widen out the view, you can see that section of yellow getting a little smaller. Right now, you're just looking at a 2-minute delay between Wendell Falls Parkway and the Beltline. And speaking of the Beltline, let's give you a live look at that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us, the bumper-to-bumper traffic. But really and truly, once you get past the Gorman Street exit, it's really clear sailing all the way over to Cary. Right now, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay. So let's hop over to that northern loop of the Beltline, because I know this is all part of many of your morning commute. That's where we're seeing the bulk of the congestion, really, between Capitol Boulevard and the I-87 440 interchange. You're looking at an 8-minute delay between that interchange and Wake Forest. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out. As we widen out the view, take a look at some other routes heading into Raleigh. We're picking up some delays around Williams Road, Highway 55, and around Apex. You're coming in, you're looking at a 5-minute delay. Our friends in Wake Forest, you're looking at a 6-minute delay coming in on US 1, Capitol Boulevard, if you will. And I-40 eastbound, we're picking up a little bit of a slowdown around Airport Boulevard, but you're just looking at a 3-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. We want to get you caught up on some breaking news this morning. Police are investigating a shooting on Cragburn Lane in the Hedingham neighborhood in Raleigh. Kelsey Coffey is in the WRAL breaking news tracker, speaking with neighbors about what they heard this morning.
Raleigh police spent more than 3 hours investigating here on Cragburn Lane after a shooting happened around 3:45 this morning. Let's take you straight to video from the WRAL breaking news tracker so you can get a look at that scene just after shots rang out. Officers appear to focus their investigation on this car that you see on your screen. Forensics placed evidence markers in front of one driveway that was across the street from where the shooting happened. Police say one woman was hurt, but she's expected to live. Neighbors described the terrifying moments just after the shooting.
Suddenly, like out of nowhere, I just hear bang, 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 like over and over and over and over. And it's just like, I thought I was dreaming, but it was like in between me being awake and half awake, and I just jolted up.
We're working to get an update from Raleigh police about what led up to this, as well as the search for the shooter. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
And police also in North Raleigh investigating another shooting this morning. Let's get to Ali Catlabar, the WRAL breaking news tracker on Magnolia Court. And Ali, police just took down the crime scene tape behind you.
Yes, but police are still here. This investigation is still ongoing. And as you can see, police are still investigating, but they have taken down that crime scene. Police are still searching for a suspect. We do want to show you, though, this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. It shows forensics taking pictures of a bullet hole in the building. Raleigh police say a man was shot around 4:15 this morning. He was taken to the hospital, expected to be okay. But as I mentioned earlier, police are still searching for that suspect, and we are working to find out exactly what led up to this shooting and the identity of the man who was shot and his condition. Of course, we're going to keep you updated. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Catlabar, WRAL News.
In our headline, Ken Smith had mentioned that we were getting an update regarding the pedestrian struck on I-40. We can now update that story to say that person was hit and killed in a hit and run. Let me kind of walk you through this. This is video where the WRAL breaking news tracker was this morning. Raleigh police confirmed that around 2:30 this morning, they were responding to a report of a person who was dead on I-40 between US 1 and Carytown Boulevard. At this time, they say the investigation indicates that person was struck by a vehicle and the driver left the scene without stopping. What is not clear is if they have any sort of car description of the person responsible of this. We have not really received a name of the person who died as a result of this, but WRAL will be staying with this story. Again, that person on I-40 between US 1 and Carytown Boulevard we've been talking about this morning was killed in a hit and run.
We are trying to learn more about the person responsible for a high-speed chase overnight. It's happened starting around 10:30, I should say. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows where the chase ended near Old Cotton Gin Road in Sampson County just after midnight. Highway Patrol says it started near NC 242 in Johnston County. At one point, speeds reached more than 100 miles per hour. Troopers say the driver ran into the woods after that chase. Troopers are still looking for that driver, by the way. Firefighters in Cary responding to an early morning house fire. This happened on Holland Bend Drive near Morrisville Road. The WRAL breaking news tracker was there around 4 o'clock this morning. A garage and a car inside that facility was badly damaged. The fire chief says everyone was able to get out of that home safely. No one was hurt.
Raleigh Restaurant Week gets started today, and ahead of it, restaurants are addressing concerns about the cyclospora outbreak. Right now, more than 216 cases have been confirmed in Wake County. 5 people have been hospitalized. Restaurants are taking added precautions to make sure their customers stay safe. We spoke with the culinary director from Empire Eats, which operates several restaurants in downtown Raleigh, and he talked about the precautions they're taking.
We're just doubling down on all of our food handling procedures, on our washing. After we wash it, we keep it separate. We remove the cutting boards, and we sanitize those before they're used again. We discard the washing water, so we're always using fresh water.
He said if the Wake County Health Department or the FDA issues a specific advisory about a specific food source, they're ready to change their menus. Raleigh Restaurant Week runs through July 26th. All right, your time now is 8:37. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll explain the adjustments school districts in the Triangle are making to their menus amid cyclospora and what pediatricians recommend if your student gets it. You can count on WRAL to keep you up to date on everything you need to know about cyclospora. Hear firsthand from local people who experience the illness, and you'll find in-depth discussions on what to look for so you don't get sick. It's all on our YouTube page. And later today, we'll get an update from Wake County about the number of cases in our area. Keep up to date on the WRAL News app and by watching our evening newscast starting at 4 o'clock this evening.
Well, in the next few minutes, we'll get new information about the drought situation in North Carolina. This is a look at the current drought monitor. Now, based on the last report, 50% of the state is in extreme drought and 6% is in exceptional drought. Well, summertime thunderstorms added a foot of water to Falls Lake between July 6th and the 13th, but it's still 10 feet lower than it was this same time last year.
When it starts to get to the extremes, that's definitely eye-opening. And when we would like for it to be in the middle.
WRAL meteorologists have said it still will take a lot more rain, likely a tropical system, to end this drought. The new drought monitor will be released in the next few minutes or so. Well, family members identifying a 3-year-old girl who died after drowning at a Durham apartment swimming pool. That little girl is Paisley Lyons-Wiles. This happened around 8 p.m. Tuesday night at the Featherstone Village Apartments at Old Page Road. Someone was already performing CPR on the little girl when firefighters and first responders arrived. Paisley later died at Duke University Hospital. Now, we've reached out to Durham Police to find out if the department is investigating this incident and who was with Paisley at that pool at the time she drowned.
Happening today, State Auditor Dave Bullock is expected to reveal new details of his audit of the town of Cary's finances. Former town manager Sean Stiegel was accused of mismanaging the town's money. If you remember, Stiegel resigned back in December. Bullock said in January the review flagged some charges as potentially fraudulent. An independent audit released in February also found weaknesses in the town's financial reporting systems. Also today, we'll learn the full 84-game schedule for the upcoming Carolina hurricane season. We already know the first game. The Canes will open the season on Tuesday, September 29th, when they host the Florida Panthers. It'll be a special night at Lenovo Center as the team raises its 2026 Stanley Cup Championship banner. The full schedule is expected to come out at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Coming up, prompting changes, rising cyclospora cases are causing some changes to school lunch menus. What to know if your child gets sick.
Also, fitness for less. You may be looking to get fit without paying for pricey gym memberships. From weights to headphones, 5 on your side, sharing the top picks to help you build the perfect at-home workout space.
And quiet on radar right now for us. We'll stay quiet throughout the day today, but we'll see better chances for rain by the end of this weekend. Ahead of our next weather maker, it's going to get hot as well. I'll let you know how hot it will feel the next couple of days. All that's coming up. 8:44 now on this Thursday morning. A quick update on the tropics. We're watching a couple of areas. One is in the Gulf. It's slowly working its way north and east towards the southeastern U.S. and the Atlantic. And this could slowly develop into a tropical system over a long period of time. Looking less likely, though, because it's going to be an area of low pressure that moves right along the coast of Florida and stays over land and then kind of gradually works its way along the coastline. So likely just brings tropical moisture to portions of the southeastern coast of the U.S. You can see some of those rainfall totals are more increased across some spots. Again, tropical depression probability looking pretty low, so not looking like we'll see that, but you can see all of that moisture bringing extra rain chances, and with that some higher totals on the immediate coastline. This area off the west coast of Africa not likely to develop into anything. We'll talk more about our rain chances through the end of the weekend coming up. Ken?
All right, great. Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We've got a handful of incidents dotting our live traffic map this morning, but nothing that's really engaging our congestion. This is usual congestion we see on many of our major routes. We're looking at an 8-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest, and really all the other major routes are relatively delay-free. I-87, I-40 westbound coming in out of the Garner-Johnston County area. And similarly, we're picking up very little to no delays on all of those major routes heading into Durham, except on I-40, we're picking up some delays around Airport Boulevard. Right now, you're looking at a 6-minute delay heading to Durham on I-40 westbound.
If you're looking to get fit without paying for a pricey gym membership, creating a simple home gym can save you money. Consumer Reports tested home gym equipment to reveal the top items for at-home fitness. Here's 5 on your side's Ashley Rowe.
Consumer Reports says one of the smartest home gym purchases is a set of adjustable dumbbells. Instead of buying multiple weights, adjustable dumbbells let you change the resistance with just a quick adjustment, saving money and space. Consumer Reports evaluated these dumbbells for things like ease of adjustment, comfort, versatility, and overall workout performance.
Our testers paid close attention to comfort, evaluating not only how the dumbbells felt in the hand, but also how comfortable they were to rest on your legs, like you might want to do if you were sitting on a bench between repetitions. 2
of the top rated are the Nordic Track 55-pound Select A weight dumbbells and the Core Home Fitness adjustable dumbbell set that goes up to 50 pounds. Both sell for under $400. Resistance bands are another affordable option. They're a lightweight, space-saving alternative to traditional weights, and experts say they can be just as effective for building strength, power, and muscular endurance. Consumer Reports recommends looking for bands that feel sturdy and checking them regularly for signs of wear and tear.
Resistance bands are one of the most versatile pieces of exercise equipment you can buy because they're lightweight, they tend to be inexpensive, and they can be used by people at many different fitness levels.
What If It resistance bands are a CR Smart Buy. 5 bands sell for about $28. For headphones, Consumer Reports recommends Apple's AirPods Pro and the Fit Pro by Beats. No matter what, before you buy, you should always compare prices to make sure you're really getting the best deal. Ashley Rowe, 5 on your side.
Well, Hollywood this morning mourning the death of actor Hal Williams. Williams was best known for his role in the comedies 227 and Sanford & Son. He died yesterday at his home in California from natural causes after battling recent health issues. He also played Sinbad's dad, named Rudy, on the Fox comedy The Sinbad Show back in the early 90s. Hal Williams was 91.
Some school districts in our area are making changes to their menus because of cyclospora. Durham Public Schools is taking fresh produce off the menu until September. If your kids do get cyclospora, pediatricians say symptoms will show up similarly to how they do in adults. Though diarrhea is more common, dehydration can follow. Still, the message remains the same. There is no need to rush to urgent care. Just monitor the symptoms and it'll likely be gone in a few days.
Other than lasting longer than those typical 3 days, really it's no different than any other diarrheal illness. And the vast majority of people, including children, will work through this on their own and are not going to spread it around the entire school just because of the way it is spread.
We're waiting to hear back from other school districts like Wake County on what steps they may take to keep students safe.
State employees and retirees will soon be paying more for seeking care at WakeMed. WakeMed telling WRAL this decision is, quote, extremely damaging. The company also told WRAL this will complicate the lives of the thousands of state employees who rely on WakeMed for care. Management says the change will have serious financial consequences for that health facility. Also, state health plan members who use UNC providers will see a discount. Duke Health patients can expect prices to stay the same. The new changes will go into effect in January.
The city of Raleigh must pay developers $27 million after a class action lawsuit was upheld yesterday. The State Court of Appeals says the city improperly charged the developers impact fees to connect to water and sewer. The builders claim the city does not have the authority to charge a fee for future improvements to the systems. The courts agreed.
An adorable baby animal and a British soccer star now have something in common.
And the biggest names in sports at the ESPY Awards. Ken Smith, you're here with What's Trending.
We're all here with What's Trending, Kirsten.
Well, it was a special night at last night's ESPY Awards, especially for former MLB pitcher Jim Abbott. Abbott was born without a right hand, but that didn't stop him from playing in the big leagues for 11 years, even throwing a no-hitter when he played for the New York Yankees.
Yeah, Abbott received the Jimmy V Award. And of course, that's named after former NC State basketball coach Jim Valvano and is given to athletes who show incredible perseverance. And he was one of the good ones.
I was going to say, that was definitely perseverance. And I have a right hand and still do that?
Oh, incredible.
Couldn't stop him.
Incredible. So listen, a cute animal alert. Take a look at this adorable baby giraffe that has a name tied to a World Cup star. Meet Jude, in honor of British soccer star Jude Bellingham. The giraffe calf lives at the Port Lim Hotel and Reserve in England. She was born around when Bellingham and Team England beat Norway on Sunday.
The announcement of her name came just 3 hours before England's match against Argentina yesterday. Sadly, England lost 2-1 in the semifinals yesterday, but no worries. Jude doesn't even know. She doesn't even know. Right.
Just happy as well.
Just being cute, right?
And as a British subject, I was rooting for England.
Oh, it's okay, Ken.
Good for Jude, the giraffe.
Right. Shout out to her. All right, let's get over to meteorologist Grant Skinner. It is going to be another hot day, Grant. We're we've been dealing with it for weeks now. So
I know.
What's new, right?
Well, thankfully, we won't see the same heat we saw a couple of weeks ago, closer to the 4th of July, where we had a high of like 103 and heat index values were approaching 110. Now, it still will be very hot the next couple of days, and heat index values could be quite high into Friday and Saturday, but today we'll reach to around 100 degrees, but with not enough moisture in place, we won't see heat advisory criteria, but heat advisories are likely by Friday, and then we'll see better chances for showers and storms by Sunday ahead of our next weather maker. This is the view from our WRAL Garner Tower camera. You can see there's a little bit of that hazy sky from some of the wildfire smoke still working its way down from Canada. You'll see some of that milky sky both today and tomorrow as some more of that smoke moves in. Temperatures in the 70s right now, around 80 degrees in Southern Pines, 80 there, 78 in Fayetteville, 76 in Raleigh, 76 in South Hill this morning. We jumped to 100 in Raleigh, 100 in Fayetteville, 98 Lewisburg. Look at those heat index values, just over 100 degrees. And we'll be at 100 again on Friday, 98 on Saturday. The big difference with these 2 days, we'll have more moisture in place, and that will make it feel even hotter than the air temperature, much hotter than the air temperature. So be prepared for it. The better rain chances don't return till Sunday of this weekend. Again, this is ahead of our next weather maker. It's a front that slowly approaches the region. Ahead of it, the moisture increases with the south wind, and we'll see intense heat on Friday and Saturday because of that. Again, temperatures will be very similar the next few days, but the big factor is going to be the moisture in place. That's why we have the WRAL Weather Alert Day in place. It's going to make it feel very, very hot out there. Make sure to stay hydrated. Take those AC breaks whenever possible. And a lot of kids might have some outdoor activities, especially this time of the year. So please make sure they're taking breaks when possible. Thankfully, a bit more comfortable in the low to mid 90s by the start of next week.
And before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers, and we'll get another check on weather and traffic up next.